IoT Security. How can you secure your IoT devices, apps, and most importantly, your user data? Hello and welcome back to Swattage, the Software Innovation Lab. If you're new here, my name is Dale Richards. I'm a software innovator from Salt Lake City, Utah, and I love making software that changes the world. I'm building a SaaS product from concept to cash, and I'm taking you with me for the ride. If you want to build apps, grow your SaaS business, and make money doing cool software entrepreneur-related stuff, start now by subscribing and hitting the bell. With so many new devices out there, like smart refrigerators, garage door openers, and doorbells, security isn't always handled well. But not by you. You're going to make your IoT device and your user data safe and secure. We're continuing our conversation with Christi and Dan from Tinker RND about the Internet of Things.
So one of the problems that we see in bringing industrial control systems or more of our industry controls into the autonomous space, or IoT as it's often called, we're now opening ourselves up to more attack vectors. So we already hear about all of the security issues with data breaches. Well, if we put things like our fridges and home security cameras online, you can just imagine the concerns that might bring up. Your data is exposed in a lot of ways, so you just have to be cognizant of that.
It's pretty crazy the way that IoT and just connected devices has expanded without any thought being paid to securing the devices, even just updating devices in the future. Many devices are able to do that and nobody thought about it. But you're able to go on a few different resources and look up big names of security cameras or other products, and you can view a unencrypted stream of a security camera. You'll get a list of thousands by the exact same brand, and you can just scroll through the list and look inside of people's businesses or whatever. And it's because some engineer decided that they were gonna hard code a credential in the firmware for the board, and they can't update the firmware now, so it's gonna be accessible forever probably. So a lot of issues that are compounded by the inability to update in the future. So both things that need to be designed for at the very beginning. It has to be designed with security in mind and with updates and manageability. It's hard to know, even if you tell your team to have a security-focused mindset, it's really difficult to know if those best practices have been followed. So I would recommend honestly copying security best practices from another established organization, or even consulting with a security professional to train your team on what is necessary. Other than that, you can get a third-party audit after you've done some work on the product, but I can almost guarantee that if that's the route that you're taking, you're going to be revising your code and possibly even your hardware.
There are some resources that are available that are open source to most people that kind of give you the top 10 lists that you can look at, and that's called OWASP, OWASP. So they put out information on the most common vulnerability issues and some things you can do to address those issues. So that's a very big thing that especially solopreneurs or techno entrepreneurs should be looking at.
A lot of them will still apply, the OWASP top 10 will still apply. You just reminded me, speaking of OWASP, that there's a service called Faster Than Light provides static analysis of your source code based on the OWASP top 10. So that's a good for your C++ code. That would be a good thing to do. It will find your hard-coded credentials and anything really silly like that, but it can also let you know about a super bad vulnerability from the get-go. It doesn't replace a security professional or an audit, but it's a good tool to have in your automated builds and stuff. Because if it doesn't pass that, it shouldn't get shipped.
Yeah, I am hearing about hard-coded credentials often in public repositories, and that's a very simple thing you can check and look for, and it'll save you a lot of money and time.
Coming up next on Swattage, the Software Innovation Lab. What's the difference between coding an app and coding an IoT device? What are the principles that you have to keep in mind? Join us again. Videos are published every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 noon Mountain Time.